bad stuffs. Wow, we should be glad that didn't happen. Welcome back to your weekly alternate history. We have a lot to go through, so let's get right into it. So if Europeans kept their colonies for more than 100 years, all Europe starts fighting each other and start attacking Asia for more resources. Finally, after 100 years of war, big losses from Asia, and the start of African rebellion groups, European empires retreat from Africa and colonized Asia. After 5 years, all European colonies, example Australia, Mexico, Brazil, get independence. Wow. Easy. USA will never exist. Axis wins World War II and no Cold War. Alright. First of all, there has to be something changed in order to let the Europeans hold onto their colonies another 100 years. Therefore, I would say that Adolf Hitler has been assassinated. Wow. World War II would still have occurred in a different way. Germany was too weak, and after France successfully was able to conquer Germany, the war quickly was over, and all land from Germany west of the Rhine was ceded to its neighbors. Without this major conflict, the European powers were able to hold on to the colonies in Africa and Asia, because the European countries remained colonial empire that way. I assume that the term empire wouldn't be seen as evil, and would rather be a general term for a powerful country. Imperialism would have ended far, far later. It would be really likely that the native population in those countries would revolt, and therefore countermeasures like genocide would be much more common and not seen as a crime. If those were successful, I assume that the colonies would have simply become provinces of the state they belonged to. If those measures were unsuccessful and they would have lost the colonies after an undefined time, those would have been drastically influenced by the former owners, and African culture would be nearly destroyed. Same with countries like Laos or India. The countries who keep the land would be rich and have control of the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian one too. And then they will start to colonize South America, and they will be a power of the world. Then they would have coups and civil war between the different countries. If that were the case, then some colonies might not exist or be claimed by another power. Then British can into empire for longer. UK would expand into China. No free countries in Africa. USA will be different, and a bloody revolution would occur in India. After World War II, the empires would be promised to keep their colonies for 100 more years. They would think in advance about the fact that an independent continent like Africa, where the empires had colonies, would survive well like it does today. So they start giving more importance and modernizing Africa. Everybody will be happy, empires keep colonies, and get money, and colonies get some autonomous control or are upgraded to overseas territories, and when they are modernized and rich, it would be pretty much the opposite of our world. I guess you can say that's a positive thing. No Maputo rising up in DRC, so no Zaire, and no Rwandan genocide, and no Suez crisis, no quite a lot of things. I see some positives as well. Maybe there would be no civil wars and no regime, and every country will be a democracy and pro-Western. Easy. All countries that were powerful still being colonized means they would not be as strong as they are today. Wow. I think if colonialism still continues for 100 years, probably we will get more wars in Africa because one colonial power wants to get more land than the other great power. World War III could start in there, and I think that colonial territory would have some freedom. Not much, but a little bit. If Europeans kept their colonies, they would be more rich in oil and other resources. Someone's gonna be happy. Africa becomes the most polluted place in the world. And wow, why is everything about Africa? And finally, no! Then a song will not be formed now. And Thailand hated the bakery and crumpet eating guys. Thailand would probably get conquered. I call it every time. don't know what to say about this. But let's just say that we're glad that this event never happened. Should we say that? That was all for today. Oh man, that was a lot of comments. Wow. Seems like you loved that idea. Anyways, since I couldn't think of another idea, I had to search through the comments to look for new ones. So I went through the comments and I found another idea. And this one's by Battlefan X. What if Carthage won the Punic Wars? You can leave your weekly alternate history in the comments for this question. And I hope to see your comments in the next week's video. Alright, see ya.